In a packed courtroom in Texas, a man stood alone, hands folded, eyes focused. His voice shook, not out of fear, but because every word he spoke was wrapped in a thick Honduran accent. And when he opened his mouth, they laughed. The defense team smirked. One lawyer mocked him under his breath, mimicking his broken English. The judge said nothing. The jury glanced around awkwardly, unsure whether to wince or chuckle, but he kept speaking. His name was Mateo Alvarez. He had arrived in the United States with a suitcase, a worn photograph of his children, and a fierce determination to build a better life. For 10 years, he worked as a concrete finisher for one of the biggest construction firms in Dallas. He never complained. He never missed a shift. He sent most of his pay home. But what he didn't say, what he endured silently, was the daily discrimination. Supervisors calling him slow because he didn't understand instructions perfectly. Co-workers mocking him in break rooms. Safety hazards ignored when it was Mateo reporting them. And then one day, after raising a concern about a collapsed scaffold that nearly injured 2 men, Mateo was fired. No explanation. No severance. Just gone. So he filed a lawsuit. When the trial began, the company's lawyers tried to bury him in legal jargon. They ridiculed him subtly at first, then openly. One even joked that he'd need subtitles. But Mateo had something stronger than perfect English: the truth. During cross-examination, a former employee stepped forward. She testified that Mateo had been targeted for months, and that managers often refer to him and others like him as replaceable. Emails surfaced, internal messages that used mocking nicknames, suggested retaliation, and joked about complaints being written in Spanglish. Photos showed dangerous worksite conditions, ignored by the company after Mateo raised the alarm. The jury saw everything, and their faces changed. On the final day of trial, the courtroom was silent as the verdict was read. Mateo Alvarez had won. The jury awarded him $10.5 million in damages, compensation for wrongful termination, emotional distress, and discrimination. But more than the money, what mattered most was the silence. The same courtroom that laughed when he spoke now sat still in awe of what he had done. Mateo walked out of that building with his head held high, his accent just as strong, and his dignity fully intact. He hadn't changed how he spoke. He changed the world around him by refusing to stay quiet.